your investments align with your goals and values? For most people, they end up investing in index funds or mutual funds without much regard to which companies they're actually supporting. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about sustainable investing and more specifically, ESG investing. Derek Mazzarella with Gateway Financial Partners. So when it comes to a traditional investment like a mutual fund or index fund, they're typically only evaluating companies using traditional metrics. And those are things like price to earnings ratio. Maybe they're looking at corporate debt. They're probably looking at company's cash flow, profitability, and maybe the management team, see how successful they've been now and in the past. Now, when it comes to looking at ESG investing, they're looking at the traditional metrics here, plus we're adding in 3 other factors. So the environment, looking at social factors, and then the governance of the company. So in terms of what's an environmental risk they're looking for, all right, is the company overly reliant on oil? And are they maybe not able to transition out of oil usage? Or maybe they have, or they're using too much water. Maybe they're using too many toxins that are polluting the environment. So they're evaluating what are the environmental risks that we have, and are they transitioning away from those in a relatively fast manner. Then we look at things like social. So that'll be, what are human rights of the company? Are we taking advantage of, good employee relations? Things like that. And when it comes to corporate governance, they're evaluating things like board independence, transparency, diversity of the board and the leadership team. So when you take all of those things in account and evaluate a company, now you have a much clearer goal of which companies are doing well, and which companies are, let's say, avoiding oil, which companies have good human rights, which companies are, have an independent board with, plenty of diversity, along with all these other factors that we have here, and that shapes those companies that do end up in those ESG funds. So you have to ask yourself, if you're a person that aligns these values and these are important to you, ESG funds may make some sense. Now, if you're looking at this and saying, hey, look, I'm not a hippie, I don't care, I just want to make the most amount of money, you should still look at ESG funds, because typically ESG funds have been outperforming traditional funds anyway. So either way, you should definitely evaluate it, see if it's right for your portfolio. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Derek Mazzarella, Gateway Financial Partners.